welcome back to Fat and Sassy Cooking, or welcome if you're new. If you are new, hello and welcome. My name is Nikki, and I'm so glad you are here today. In today's What's for Dinner, I will be sharing with you all 3 very easy, simple meal ideas, and I will also be sharing with you all a delicious muffin recipe. If you like what you see in today's video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave so you don't miss any of my upcoming What's for Dinners. And I would really appreciate it. It really helps me out here on YouTube. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop right on into today's What's for Dinner. Tonight I'm making a sheet pan dinner with chicken and sweet potatoes. I have 1 large sweet potato that I have washed and peeled, and I'm just going to cut it up into small cubes. I am trying to do healthier dinner ideas, but I'm not doing it on every single night, so I just want to let you all know you can find some healthier, lower carb meals here, but I'm not going to turn into like a health nut, and every single meal that I make here on my channel be like low calorie, low carb, nothing like that. Just every couple of nights or something throughout the week I will be having a little healthier meals. If you've watched my previous What's for Dinners, then you know that I've really been getting into making sweet potatoes. I'm just replacing regular potatoes with the sweet potatoes because they are lower calorie, lower carb, all that good stuff, and they are actually better than you would think. If you've never tried them, I would suggest giving them a try if you're looking for something a little lower calorie and lower carb. Now that I got the sweet potatoes cut up, I'm just going to add them to a cooking sheet and drizzle some olive oil on them, and I am going to be a little heavy with the olive oil. And I totally forgot to season my sweet potatoes. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but after you get the olive oil drizzled on, you could add some salt and pepper or any kind of seasoning that you like. I am going to be adding cumin to the chicken, so you could even add ground cumin to it. I've got 2 chicken breasts, and I'm just going to cut them up into chunks, and I did go around and cut the fat off of them. I'm drizzling the chicken with some olive oil, and then I'm going to add some salt, pepper, and ground cumin. The original recipe calls for 1 pack of taco seasoning, but the last time that I made it like that, the taco seasoning was just like very overwhelming for us. So I decided to use ground cumin instead of the taco seasoning. Now I'm going to add the chicken to the pan, and the recipe says to cook it for 15 minutes, but you all know how I am when it comes to cooking meat. I just don't see chicken being done in 15 minutes, so I ended up cooking it about 25 minutes, and I still used my meat thermometer to make sure that it had reached 165 degrees. Here it is when I got it out of the oven. This was a very easy, simple meal that had a whole lot of flavor to it, other than me forgetting to season my sweet potatoes. Tonight I'm doing a crock pot meal. I'm doing some chicken Alfredo, but I'm adding one of these beef smoked sausages to it. If you have never done this, oh my goodness, you are missing out. You've got to add one of these sausages to your chicken Alfredo. It just adds so much flavor to it. It smells so good when it's cooking. But anyways, I had 2 chicken breasts, 1 of those sausages, and now I'm adding in 2 15-ounce jars of Alfredo sauce. Now I've got some water boiling to cook my pasta. I do not do this in the crock pot because the pasta just goes all soggy and nasty, but I'm using ziti pasta because that's what I had. I never use like the pasta that you're supposed to use for chicken Alfredo. I just use whatever I have on hand. Now that my pasta is done, I've took it off the stove, I've drained it, and I'm adding it to the crock pot. You will cook your pasta according to the directions on the back of the box, but now that I've added it to the crock pot, I've got the crock pot turned down to keep warm, and I'm just going to let this set and let everything mingle together for about 15 minutes. I did decide to add some Parmesan cheese on top. And here it is once it's done, and this is the meal of the week that I am suggesting that you all try at home with the sausage. Moving on to the banana nut muffin recipe, which doesn't have nuts in it. But anyways, you will need 4 very ripe bananas, some vegetable oil, some vanilla extract, maple syrup, I'm using sugar-free, almond milk, I'm using almond and coconut, but you could use regular almond, baking soda, some rolled oats, old-fashioned oats or rolled oats, some allspice, ground cinnamon, baking powder, 2 large eggs, and that is it. I'm going to start by adding 2 cups of the oats to the blender and blend them up to a fine powder, as fine as I can get it. And if you can't tell by the ingredients, this is a healthier option to muffins. It has no flour, no sugar. Now that I've got the oats all blended up into a powder, I'm going to add in my bananas in chunks. And I know when I say that it doesn't have any flour or sugar or any of the bad stuff in it, that it sort of sounds disgusting, but I promise these are really, really good. And the bananas is what actually sweetens it. The riper your bananas are, the sweeter they are, so make sure you have very ripe bananas. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and add in all of the ingredients and blend that up. You will blend everything in the blender, and if you don't have a good blender, this is gonna suck. I'm just gonna tell you because my blender isn't that great and I was struggling. So if you have an awesome blender, you'll be done in like 5 seconds. As you can tell right here, it was definitely having problems getting started. I believe maybe if you poured out your oats that you ground up and put your liquid ingredients in the bottom and then added your oats back in, that maybe that would help. But I was definitely struggling to get it to blend up. I kept having to stop it and take a spoon in there and dig around to get it going. But these were totally worth it. They were really good and they are very, very moist. But anyways, I'm going to spray my muffin pan with some cooking spray. I'm using extra virgin olive oil cooking spray, but you could use whatever you have. And you're going to bake these on 350 for 30 minutes. Tonight I'm doing taco salad, so I've got 1 pound of ground beef that I'm just going to brown up. And this is also another one that I'm doing low carb. I didn't use no tortilla shells, I didn't use any chips, just the meat and some toppings. My meat was still a little bit frozen when I started cooking it, that's why I've got this big huge chunk right here, but I just continued to flip it over and it eventually got done and I could break it up like the rest of the meat. I'm mixing up the taco seasoning just like it says on the back of the pack. It says to mix it with 2/3 cup of water, and that is exactly what I'm doing. And then I'm going to pour it over my meat, and then it says to bring it to a boil, and I don't remember exactly what it says. You'll just have to read the back of your pack. Here's what my meat is looking like. It is starting to thicken up. And I also opened up a can of refried beans. I just had some meat, the refried beans, some 3-pepper shredded cheese, salsa, and sour cream, and that's what I ate for dinner this night, and it was really good. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not like going like super strict eating nasty diet food. My food's still good. But anyways, that's gonna wrap this up for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope I see you all in the next one. Bye guys.